Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Leviticus, chapter 22. Let's get started now. The Book of Leviticus is a book of laws, regulations, and rituals that were given to the Israelites by God through Moses. Chapter 22 deals with the regulations concerning the offerings and sacrifices that the priests were to make in the tabernacle. It emphasizes the importance of the priests being ritually pure and following the proper procedures in their offerings to God. The chapter begins by setting out the rules regarding when a priest is considered unclean and not allowed to handle the offerings. This includes touching a dead body, having an abnormal bodily discharge, or being in contact with an unclean animal. The priest is required to wait until evening and then bathe before he is considered clean and able to handle the offerings. The chapter then goes on to list the animals that are acceptable for sacrifice and those that are not. The animals must be without blemish and in good health. Any animal that is blind, lame, mutilated, or has a running sore or discharge is not acceptable. If a priest offers an animal that is not acceptable, it will not be accepted as a sacrifice, and the priest will be held responsible for the offering's failure. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of the priest treating the offerings with respect and not profaning them. Any priest who eats of a holy offering while he is unclean will be cut off from the people. The chapter also sets out the rules regarding who is allowed to eat the holy offerings. Only the priest and his immediate family are allowed to eat the offerings, and they must be eaten in a state of ritual purity. The lesson to be learned from this chapter is the importance of treating God's offerings with respect and following proper procedures in our worship. The Israelites were expected to show reverence for God by offering their best animals and treating them with care and respect. Similarly, we are called to give our best to God and to approach Him with humility and reverence. Another lesson from this chapter is the importance of purity in our worship. The priests were required to be in a state of ritual purity before handling the offerings, and the offerings themselves had to be without blemish or defect. We too are called to approach God in a state of purity, both in our physical and spiritual lives. This means avoiding sinful behavior and striving to live a life that is pleasing to God. The teaching application of this chapter can be applied to our own worship practices today. We are called to approach God with reverence and humility, giving our best to Him and following proper procedures in our worship. This means being mindful of the quality of our offerings, whether they be our time, talents, or resources. We are also called to approach God in a state of purity, both in our physical and spiritual lives, striving to live a life that is pleasing to God. Additionally, this chapter highlights the importance of accountability in our worship practices. The priests were held responsible for the quality of their offerings, and we too are called to be accountable for the quality of our worship. This means being mindful of the attitude we bring to worship, the quality of our prayers and praise, and the sincerity of our devotion to God. In conclusion, Leviticus chapter 22 emphasizes the importance of showing reverence and respect to God in our worship practices, approaching Him in a state of purity, and being accountable for the quality of our offerings. As we seek to honor God with our worship today, we can learn from the example of the Israelites and strive to approach Him with humility, sincerity, and devotion. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.